When things go wrong in our lives, the first thought that most of us have is God must be against me, or if God had loved me, these things would never happen to me. Trials and difficult times make us feel that we are cast away out of the presence of God. But is there another purpose in our trial? Is there another purpose in the difficult things that we have been through? The Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 8 is asking us, who can separate us from the love of Christ? And he names a few extreme things and asks, can tribulation or persecution or distress or nakedness or famine or peril or sword, are any of these things powerful enough to separate us from the love of Christ? Though these things have the power to make us believe that God is away from us and make us think, if God loved me, He would never allow these things to happen to me. But the truth is that there is another greater purpose that God desires to work in us through these trials. In Romans 8 and verses 37, Paul says, in all these things, in all these difficulties, God makes us more than conquerors through Him who loved us. What does this word more than conquerors mean? In the Greek, it's a word called hypernikao, where nikao means conqueror or overcomer. But hypernikao means someone who is overwhelmingly and exceedingly victorious and is a super conqueror, not just a conqueror, which means there is no comparison between a super conqueror and the enemy. The super conquerors win hands down every time. The enemy is no challenge and is no match for those who are more than conquerors. It also means another thing. It means that in every trial, those who are more than conquerors not only defeat the enemy, but they turn the enemy's plans around for their benefit. They make their trials, they make the enemy work for their benefit. And the trials and the tribulations that have come against us, Paul says, those who are more than conquerors turn it around, and these trials work for them an eternal benefit, make them into the character and the nature and the likeness of God. God has another purpose in your trials, and that is not to make you a castaway, but to make you a conqueror, and not just a conqueror, but more than a conqueror. And I pray that you will begin to see everything that you're going through with a different set of eyes, and we become these super conquerors through the one who loved us, through Christ Jesus, as we walk with Him and abide in Him and stay in His presence. I pray this word blesses you, and have a wonderful day. God bless you.